Standard 7th, Subject History, Chapter number 8, An Ideal Ruler. Dear students, in this chapter, we are going to learn about Shivaji Maharaj as an ideal ruler. Before the foundation of Swaraj, Maharashtra was under the domination of the Adil Shahi, Siddhi, Portuguese, and Mughal powers. Shivaji Maharaj struggled against these powers. He faced all kinds of adverse circumstances. Adverse means severe, bad circumstances. He founded an independent and sovereign Swaraj. He set up a system for the administration of this Swaraj. So he was an efficient administrator too. He turned Swaraj into a Surajya. Surajya means a beautiful kingdom, a kingdom that sought the welfare of all the subjects. Maharaj created a new order with his capability. In the course of the conflict for the founding of the Swaraj, he himself had to face many grave dangers. Events like the meeting with the Afzal Khan, the siege of Panhala, the attack on Shaista Khan, the escape from Agra, all involved a great amount of risk. Shivaji Maharaj emerged successful in all these events. No harm came to him. Now we shall study about the organizational skills. Maharaj inspired the people around him to work for the Swaraj. His organizational skill was unparalleled, means you couldn't compare it with anybody else. With this skill, he drove around himself brave people who were also extremely loyal, those who were faithful to him. These close associates of Shivaji Maharaj performed their duty even by risking their own lives. There are many instances of this in the founding of the Swaraj. So let us have at some examples. For example, Jiva Mala, who killed Bada Sayyid at a critical moment during the meeting with Afzal Khan. Then we have Shiva Kashid, who crossed the siege of Panhalgad in the disguise of Shivaji Maharaj. He sat in a palanquin and presented himself as Shivaji Maharaj so that Shivaji Maharaj could escape from the other side. Then there is Baji Prabhu Deshpande, who blocked the advances of the enemy on the way to Vishalgad. He also fought very bravely. Another example is Murabaji Deshpande, who defended the fort of Purandar. Then we have Tanaji Malusare, who sacrificed his life while conquering Sinhagad. Recently, there was also a movie released by the name Tanaji. I'm sure you must have watched it. So, this way, there were many brave soldiers. Then also we have Hiroji Farjand and Madari Mehter, who risked their lives during the escape of Maharaj from Agra. So there are endless examples like this. Maharaj took great care of his associates. For example, Kanhoji Jede was associated with Maharaj in the work of the Swaraj from the very beginning. When the aging Kanhoji fell ill, Maharaj told him not to neglect his medicines or treatment on any account. So, this way, overall, Shivaji took great care of his soldiers, of his subjects, and he won their hearts. Next, we have caring for the riot. Now, what do you mean by riot? The peasants, the farmers. So, let's see how Shivaji Maharaj cared for them. While establishing the Swaraj, Maharaj had to constantly struggle against his enemies. His subjects suffered due to enemy invasions. At such times, Maharaj used to take utmost care to protect the riot. At the time of Shaista Khan's campaign, Maharaj warned the Deshmukh of the Rohida Valley not to fail in his duty towards the riot. He told Deshmukh to visit every village and shift people to a safe place down the ghats. He strictly told him not to delay even for a moment. He further warned the Deshmukh that if he did not take care of the riot, the Mughal army would take the people prisoner and then it would be seen as the Deshmukh's doing. So this was the warning given to the Deshmukh. Maharaj also saw to it that the soldiers did not in any way cause any harm to the riot. So such was the policy of Shivaji Maharaj regarding the farmers riot. Now we also have the policy regarding the army. Maharaj maintained a strict discipline in the army. He was particular about paying the salaries of the army in time. He made arrangements to pay the salaries of soldiers in cash. Sometimes they used to get watans or jagirs, but Shivaji Maharaj said, I will pay in cash so that it can be useful. In various kingdoms in medieval India and elsewhere, there was a system of making payments to soldiers in the form of jagirs. Maharaj knew it was of no use, so he set this practice aside. There was a strict order to the army that any valuables collected during the campaigns in enemy territories were to be deposited with the government. Soldiers were honored for their bravery in a campaign. He looked after the maintenance of the families of soldiers who died in the battle. He took care of the wounded soldiers. He treated all the enemy soldiers who had surrendered themselves or who had been captured. So, this way, he took care of each and every soldier, and he was truly a good administrator who sought the welfare of his subjects. Next, we shall learn about a policy of tolerance. Maharaj had to struggle against his enemies. Which ones? The Siddhis, the Adil Shah, the Mughals, and the Siddhis. All of them. They were Islamic powers. While Maharaj struggled against them, he considered the Muslim in the Swaraj as his own subjects. So, though he struggled against the Islamic powers, he never troubled the Muslim subjects. In fact, there were some Muslim soldiers in his troop also. For example, at the time of the meeting with Afzal Khan, Siddhi Ibrahim was a trusted servant in his army. Siddhi Hilal was a Sardar in the army of Maharaj. Daulat Khan was an important officer in the navy of the Swaraj. That means Maharaj followed a tolerant religious policy. In the enemy territories that he conquered, he continued the facilities that had been given to the Muslim places of worship. His contemporary historian Khafi Khan writes about the tolerant religious policy of Maharaj. Shivaji had framed strict rules for his soldiers that during the campaigns they should not harm a mosque. Okay, if they came in possession of a copy of the Holy Quran, they should hand over the same with reverence to a Muslim with due respect. So these were all religious policies that Maharaj strictly followed. That was the policy of tolerance. We learn about tolerance in civics even today. So that time Shivaji Maharaj followed a policy of tolerance and he saw to it that it was strictly followed. Next, we shall learn about the inspiration for freedom. Shivaji Maharaj made great efforts to establish Swaraj, and the efforts that Maharaj made to establish the Swaraj have a very special value. It is the value of freedom. He aimed at establishing and maintaining an independent and sovereign existence that did not accept the dominance of any other power. He said no, no other power. He did not have alliance with any other power. He did not join hands with anyone. He said we should have an independent kingdom. Swarajya. While struggling against the foreign powers, Maharaj inspired others too for freedom. He was an example for others. For example, when Chhatrasal, who was in the service of the Mughals, came to see Maharaj, Maharaj inspired him to create an independent kingdom in Bundelkhand. So, this way, Shivaji Maharaj was a source of inspiration for others in the neighborhood as well to create and fight for freedom, to create an independent kingdom. Now, let us learn about greatness of Maharaj's work. Okay, there is a lot to say about the work of Shivaji Maharaj, but let us sum it up in few words. Maharaj established Swaraj while fighting against many enemies. This action itself proves that he was a pioneer of a new era. But besides this action, many other noble qualities are found in his personality. Maharaj was very intelligent. He had mastered many arts. He was conversant with many languages and scripts. The teachings of his parents towards the establishment of Swaraj and ethics were deeply instilled in his mind. There was a blend of character and strength, nobility and valor in his personality. So you will find that he had visualization of future activities, skills were there, and alertness, vigilance, all these qualities, commitment to truth and justice, attitude of equality. So all this foresight, leadership, management qualities were there in Shivaji Maharaj, which made him such a skillful administrator. He used to punish those severely who would misbehave with women. He used to take care of all sections of the society like farmers, craftsmen, soldiers, traders, merchants, etc. He used to harbor the same respect for people of other religions that he had for people of his own religion without any kind of discrimination. At that time, there was opposition on religious grounds to crossing the seas. Yet, he built seaforts like Sindhudurg and created a navy. This means that he had made preparation for countering foreign invasions that came from the sea. He became the ruler of the Swaraj officially through his coronation. He later had a second coronation from a different religious perspective. His greatness is comprehensive. So, there are many instances which show the greatness of Maharaj, and we have summed it up in a few situations. All Indian languages have works that talk about him as an ideal ruler and a source of inspiration. Future generations too will continue to look upon this work of Shivaji Maharaj of founding the Swaraj and turning it into Surajya as a source of inspiration, as an ideal. Shivaji Maharaj was a great national hero. So, dear children, I hope you have followed this chapter of Shivaji Maharaj as an ideal ruler. After watching this video, do open your textbook and go through the chapter and try to understand the greatness of Shivaji Maharaj, his administration, and his qualities. So, students, stay safe, keep learning, and thank you.